We're doing our week ahead readings using the Moonchild Tarot Deck. Yippee! Tarot. I've already chosen the cards for today's readings. If you are new, hello and welcome. What I do is I pre-select my cards and I show them and I keep them out of my line of vision. I block them because I only flip them over when I am instructed to while channeling for the collective readings. So I got 2 cards for reading number 1 and then 1 card for reading number 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show each of these a few times. And if you would like to practice experimenting with, listening to your intuition, you can take some deep breaths, you can tune in, you can see if you can identify any sort of energetic difference, whether it is sound, vision, sensation, information, dropping in through any of the psychic clairs. And you can put in a 1. This is for reading number 1. Talk about light. Or 2 in the chat. Or if you have a combination of both, and you can also share how the information presented itself. So I'm just going to get quiet. And here are the cards for reading number 1 and 2. Number 1. And 2. And I'll just show them one more time. So you can toss a 1 or a 2 or both in the chat based on whichever card sticks out to you more. Or reading, I should say, sticks out to you more. All right, so last time. Reading number 1. And reading number 2. Two cards for reading number 1. We'll see what that means. It feels like it's a spread. Feels like this is a spread. Sometimes when I have multiple cards, either when I'm doing collective reading or individual reading, if we have multiple cards, it could be that it's multiple topics. It could be that it's a multi-part storyline. It could be that it's a spread. So this, literally as I was posing the question, I was like, it's a spread. So for reading number 1, we have a spread. What do each of the cards translate to? The title for it came in as World Order. So obviously it's a collective reading, but I think whatever this card number 1 of reading number 1 has to do with something that is very, very big picture, very structural, systematic. All right, and then what is number 2? Number 2 is peace. So what is bringing us peace? Not in the sense of grounding, but in the sense of serenity, in the sense of very Venus energy. It feels like it's an exhale. It feels like serene and a release. It feels like it's a release. I'm seeing the visual. It's like when you're floating, you're just like floating on the surface of waters. If you have little floaties or something, if you need those, but we're just floating and we're totally relaxed. We're totally just drifting and not thinking about anything, but not in a way that's escapist. This isn't escapist energy. It's just we're floating, but we're being held, but we can, there's there's an unclenching. So the dichotomy we have here is world order, which is structure. And then this one is structure doesn't matter. We're just floating. This looks like a little classroom project where you assemble a structure using toothpicks and marshmallows or gumdrops, typically one or both of those. And so for anyone who's not familiar, it's like you use the candy and then you stick the, well, I can't do it with my eyes closed. You stick the toothpicks in and you use them as the joins to connect them to each other. And so you can make these different shapes and you can keep building them and then create the structure. But it feels flimsy. It feels flimsier than we would like, than we want it to be, than our expectations are. It seems like that is more revealed, that things are flimsier than we thought. We want to do something about it. We want to make it less flimsy. We want it to be more reinforced. But the wind is not at our sails. It's not actually, we don't have that push behind us to actually let us do it. So our intention, our intention is not connected with the current timeline, what is happening in the now. Do we get frustrated by it? Or resigned to indifference? Whoa, okay. Is that an either or this just the second one? Page of Wands. Look at this close. Hopefully y'all can see it. It's a very light card, so. Beep. Page cards are about taking a journey. And wands are about the inspiration, the spark, action. So what we were just talking about, it's like we are looking to take action. We want to go on this journey to go do something. I also like how on this card, she's standing beneath an archway. So we had the visuals of their structure that's going on. I think that's so like funny as a little Easter egg. But she's holding what looks like, it doesn't exactly look like sage, but it's something that is burning. So it's like she's holding it like this. Like she has this offering that she's reaching out like, how about this? So I think the visuals actually line up pretty well with what we were talking about. I am getting nudged to read something from the guidebook. Number 2 is at the second page, second sentence, first page. Thank you. She transmutes her energy into this newfound space, unaware of what lies beyond its misty veil. So this is definitely referring to the offering, what I was just talking about before I got the little nudge. And I think what this is saying is the archway, like this is the veil. It's almost like a veil to the other side. So like if you go through the doorway, through the portal, you have the connection. So she isn't looking at it. She's not engaging with it. It's something that's next to her. It's behind her. I think that this is connecting the fact that we are in some ways disconnected because energetically she wants to do one thing, but it's different than the backdrop, which is what we were talking about before. Apparently no asking questions. Move on to the second card. So the second card in the spread is the peace card. So the initial visual that I got for that is we're floating on the surface. We're serene. It does feel like this is being bridged from what we were just talking about. So we have the backdrop of energy. The energy here now is, for the first one, we were focused on the structure. We were focused on building, but actually we were misaligned with the energy. But then the second part is now we're on the energy. Now when we can float across it, when we can be in tune, this is so exciting. We can be in tune with the energetic fabric of what is actually going on versus trying to build something. Like you can't build something on top of the water. It will just fall through the surface and sink to the bottom. So we make this transition. Okay, we make this transition from being in this mindset of wanting to fix something, do something to course correct. And it's like, let's get horizontal. Let's actually tap into the energy. So we're thinking about, it's so interesting because when we're building the visual I was getting, we're building something that's upward, but then the second step is that we're horizontal. So we're kind of doing, we're not doing the opposite. We're doing something perpendicular. We're trying to play a note that's not in the song. Let's find a note that's in the chord. That's the analogy that I'm getting here. So let's channel our energy, the thing that we want to do, that we want to, again, propel something forward or correct something that is not functioning optimally. Already? What the heck? Okay, we have Four of Cups. I swear, I get this card all the time, and I know I've pulled this in readings for people before. Another super light card. Best of luck, everyone trying to see it. Four of Cups. So she is sitting on the ground. She's in a meditative pose. She has her cup surrounding her. She has flowers essentially in different chakra points. And then she has a beam of light with other elements layered here. So how I learned about this card, one, fours are about stability. Cups are about emotions, relationships, creativity, spirituality. But that this card is associated in particular with the fact that something is like coming up behind her and she can't see it. So it's like something's in your periphery, something's in your blind spot. So something is on its way. And I have to note the fact that for the second visual that we had, it's water and cups is the water sign. So, and you can see there's a bunch of water in the background. So I do love that as the visual elemental parallel here. It does feel like this is essentially getting us to to withdraw, as in we have the offering, we have the thing, hey, I want to start this, I want to do this, I want to fix this. That's out of focus, out of alignment. Instead, again, this isn't sitting and doing nothing. This isn't being completely passive, but it is the connection, stability, grounding, but not through earth, through the creativity, through the relationship connection, through intuition, to allow whatever's supposed to come in to just come in. So there's no pursuit. We're just floating. We're floating, we're supported, we're grounded, but on water, floating. It's a sliding scale. So the point that you make the transition to deciding not to act and instead to connect and receive, that is fully up to you. You could decide to do that tomorrow and then just float for the rest of the week. Or it could take you until Sunday to figure it out. It almost feels like a slingshot, but then we're spinning. It's like those toys when you have a top, but you shoot it out of something, like you launch the top and then it spins. I have no idea what this toy is called, but that's the energy behind this. There's a launch, but then we're spinning in circles. So we moved forward, but then we're kind of stalled and hovering and we're not then going anywhere. Recommended practices, something we can do, something that we should be watching out for. While we're spinning, let's actually take the opportunity to get a full 360. What a positive spin on this, pun intended. So we're stalled. It feels like a bummer, but guess what? We can look around. We can catch everything now because it's very eagle eye, details that would have been missed otherwise. Moderately frustrated. but it doesn't break us out of the cycle. We're still spinning, and we just have to remember that there is an upside to this. There is an upside to what we will be figuring out. And instead of calling it being stalled or stopped or blocked or prevented, that we can reframe it as an opportunity for understanding the full picture. The top, spinning, 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 plops over on its side, but then it's in like a chute almost. So it's like as if it's going on a track instead. So it's just became something else. It's no longer a top. It looks like Hot Wheels. As if it's just on the track, woo! And so now it's just going then a completely different direction. This is very similar to the first reading, how we wanted to go this way, but then we go this way instead. Now that I know what I need, I don't care about launching forward anymore. I'm doing this instead. So this feels like a hard pivot based on the information that we get. Once we make the pivot, so we become the little Hot Wheels car, we go on the track, feels like now we have the momentum. And rather than being stalled, it's like, oh, great, now we're aligned and we might even be able to get that whole thing done. Hierophant. So this is wisdom. I love that the visuals we were getting, or language that we were getting for the second reading, it was about getting the information that we need. I just keep getting in my head like, wise sage, the wise sage. Passage as requested by Spirit Team. All right, settle in. The Hierophant is a catalyst for profound learning. This energy often appears when you're ready to expand your awareness or gain fresh insights. It may also introduce you to someone who has the potential to radically transform your worldview or beliefs, or a time when you are driven to explore or question your spiritual values or philosophies. This key encourages the pursuit of education or formal training, also within the dynamic of a group setting. What tools or resources can you connect with at this time? Whether it may be a guide, teacher, mentor, class, program, or community, now is a lovely period to seek out new avenues of exploration or structures, funny, that build stability and clarity. Why is this overlapping so much with the first reading? This discovery will elevate your spirit and lift the course of your path into new, uncharted wisdom. What on earth is happening this week? So yeah, this is either you are the sage, you have the wisdom, you gain the wisdom through the information that comes through. But typically also the meaning of the card could be that you're seeking out wisdom, that you're finding that teacher or the mentor, was kind of like what that was getting at. And so maybe that person or group person is giving you that encouragement or idea to then make that pivot. But the point, which it was saying in there, is that you're going on this new venture. So we thought we were going one way, and it's like, all right, let's go this way instead. So it was capturing that as well, which I think is quite fascinating. Reading number 1. We had a card spread. And our first card was capturing the world order. It was discussing the systems at play, the climate, the environment. What is going on around us? How are we fitting into it or not? And the visual I was getting was a gumdrop or marshmallow structure with toothpicks. So we're assembling something. We're looking to assemble, but it's actually flimsier than we think. So the structures in society, we're like, okay, we want to change them. We want to do something. We want to reinforce it more to make it more stable. However, what is going on behind us, what is going on in the climate is not really allowing us to do that. It's like not the time, not in that way. And when we fail, we are then resigned to some sense of indifference. And the card that we had was Page of Wands. So she is offering, why don't we do this inspired action to chart a new course journey for the page. However, she is disconnected from what's actually going on in the backdrop. This portal, this opportunity to really be in alignment with what's happening. Like she's missing a little bit of the plot here. And then that gets us into the second part of the reading. And the second card represents peace and serenity. And the visual I had was we're floating across the surface. So we can think of, we wanted to build something. We're like, hey, why don't we do this? How about that? But we're missing what's going on. What's happening right now doesn't support us building anything. And rather, we can channel that energy, the desire to act, into something that is more aligned with what's actually going on. And the card that we got was the Four of Cups, seeking stability and being open to receiving. So we're connecting. We are receiving something that is coming in our blind spot that we can't see. We're not trying to pursue. We're not trying to control. We're not trying to contain. We're just pausing. We're allowing ourselves to stabilize, cups, on the water by floating, rather than trying to keep building because it's not the time. It's not working. It's not the time. It's not going to be received. And instead, you pivot so that you can receive. And that's very, very open-ended. It could be anything. It could be an alternative. It could be maybe something that you were offering. It's like, just kidding. What about this idea? And this becomes better. That matches more of what's happening. And maybe that can be implemented this week, or maybe that's implemented next week or in the future. And for our second reading, so you have a spinning top. It's shot out of something. So it propels it forward, but then it's just spinning in place. So we have this feeling of, oh, great. Oh, something happened. Oh, no, now I'm stalled. I'm stalled and I'm stuck here. And we're feeling like, oh, this is such a bummer. Why is this happening? And we can get to a certain point where our perspective can shift and we can recognize, wait, this is actually a really great opportunity for me to get a full 360 of everything. I don't have to view it as I'm stuck. I could view it as I have the chance to get the full picture, see everything that's going on, double check everything, get all of the info that I need. And once you have that information, then the top tips over and it becomes a little Hot Wheels car and it goes woo on the track and it moves forward in a different direction, doing something completely different. So it feels like whatever it is that we were trying to launch and move forward gets stalled, and then we just pivot and we do something completely different that then comes together very, very quickly. And actually, that was a better alternative. The card that we got with this was the Hierophant, which is about wisdom. It's about learning. It's either you are the teacher or you are finding a teacher. However it is that you are gaining this information to move forward on this new journey ahead, light guiding the way. We had a desire for momentum. Second reading, we had actual momentum at the beginning, but both of them got stopped. Something happened where it's like, this isn't going to work. This isn't aligned, not the right time, not the right place. This is not even the right thing. We should actually be working on something else. Forget about that. So we have two slightly different versions of why we are stopping or having to do a full, how it came in as perpendicular pivot for both of them. So that's a great way that you can figure out which reading you're actually in. Is it information, idea? This felt like project. It's some initiative that's like, hold on, I don't even need to be working on that anymore. I should do this instead. That's not going to do it. That's the second reading. First reading is we're trying to fix something. We're trying to do something towards the collective, towards a system, towards something way bigger than us. And it's just like, that's either not the right tool, not the right offering, or just timing is off. We got to do something else instead. And the thing that we're being asked to do is just that 4 energy. We're stabilizing, we are grounding through creativity, relationships, intuition. And we're allowing ourselves to receive, and we'll just ... go from there. If that means we take a better, quote unquote, action, or we withhold and take action later, then that will be the route that we go. What's coming in is you versus the machine? Or is this you versus the obstacle or project that's in front of you within your life? It's a little bit more direct. So the scale is a great indicator of which reading you're in. And for both of them, you decide. You decide, it's not that I'm giving up. It's that I'm realizing this isn't working. And so I'm going to try a new strategy. I'm going to trust. I'm going to be open. I'm going to be receptive rather than pushing anything, like pushing an agenda, pushing an idea. And this is, I'm going to get smarter. I'm going to get wiser. I'm going to not spin my wheels, burn out my energy on something that, you know what, that's probably not even really worth my time. Let me dedicate that effort, intention, what I have learned to something else. I am getting, just to mention here for this first reading, the system, the thing that is bigger, this can involve people. There seems to be more people attached to this one than the second reading. This feels more like it's a thing. It's something that you're working on. It's something you're trying to resolve or get off the ground or something to that effect. And this feels like it's a system which is made of people or a larger group or collective or mission or cause or something. I mean, just to circle back to the top, we were discussing the 21-day challenge that I literally just started today. Available on my social media if you want to do it. The challenge to me connects a lot to the first reading because this was about the ease, the floating, the receiving. So like if you're doing today's journal prompt or something, okay, well, what information is going to come in? So I find that compelling. But of course, this is deeper learning and understanding. You could do today's journal prompt and learn something about yourself. So I do feel like they kind of align. They kind of align. Oh, alignment. They align with my alignment challenge.